Look lively, boys. Remember, snappy service with a smile. This getting up early is getting me down. And no customers yet. We could have slept another hour. Any minute, they'll come pouring in. It's not so early. The barber's open. See, he's dressing wigs. Even the gambling house is already open. That joint, it's been open all night. Pandolfo must make a killing. That dog always gets the meatiest bone. He marks the cards. He cheats the customers. Money goes in his door and never comes out. Don't envy him. His chickens will come home to roost, go roast some coffee, and make a fresh pot. Do I put in the grounds from last night? No, make it properly. Boss, when was it you opened this shop? 8 months ago. It's time for a change. What do you mean? When a new shop opens, great coffee. After 6 months at the most, hot water and dregs. He's a joker. He'll keep the customers laughing and coming back for more. Pandolfo, some coffee? Please, Giovanni, bring some coffee for Messler Pandolfo. Sit down and make yourself comfortable. No, I'm in a hurry. I have to get back to business. Are they still gambling at your place? Harder than ever. This game's been going on since yesterday. Who's winning? Me, for one. Have you been gambling with them? I played a few hands. My friend, the owner should stay out of the game. If he loses, the customers laugh at him, and if he wins, they're suspicious. I don't care. It's not my fault. I'm lucky. Was Signor Eugenio gambling last night? He's still at it. He hasn't eaten, he hasn't slept, and he's out of money. Poor fellow. How much has he lost? 100 in cash, and now he's in the hole. Who's winning? The Count. The Count! That card sharp! Who else is playing? It's down to the two of them. Poor Signor Eugenio. He'll be ruined. Who cares as long as the house gets it cut? I wouldn't run a gambling house for all the money in the world and watch people ruin themselves. Friend, if you're that thin-skinned, you'll never get rich. That's all right. An honest living is enough for me. Be right with you. Try to get poor Signor Eugenio away from that gambling table. He can lose his shirt for all I care. Shall I put your coffee on the tab? I'll match you for it. I'm not a sucker, friend. Don't be a cheapskate. My clients bring a lot of business to your shop, and you're worrying about a little cup of coffee. I'm coming. Fine business he runs, living off people's bad luck. He's a man who never stops talking, and according to him, every word is gospel. Coffee. Coming right up. What's new, Rodolfo? Any customers yet this morning? It's still early in the day. Early? It's past 10 o'clock. Oh, no, sir, it's not 8 yet. You're joking. No, I assure you it hasn't struck 8. Oh, get out, you ass. I counted the strokes of the town clock just now, and I tell you it's the 10. Look at my watch. It's never wrong. It says 10 minutes to 8. It can't be. What does it say? It's wrong. It's 10 o'clock. I just heard it strike. Where did you buy your watch? I ordered it from London. Did they cheat you? Nobody cheats me. Either your watch is 2 hours off. My watch is never off. It runs perfectly. Then the time is 10 to 8. Don't be impudent. My watch is right. You're wrong. And if you don't look out, I'll give you something to remember it by. Here's your coffee. Have you seen anything of Eugenio? Not yet. Probably at home, cuddling his wife. What a soft character he is. Always with his darling wife. Not last night. He was next door gambling. That's what I said. Gambling. Always gambling. Always gambling. Always with his wife. Always with the devil. And not with you. The other day he came to me, all secrecy, to borrow money on his wife's earnings. Anybody can be short of cash. He trusted you not to tell. I'm no blabbermouth. I help everybody and never brag about it. Here they are, his wife's earnings. I lent him 10 ducats on these. Do you think I'm covered? I'm no expert, but I imagine so. Is your boy around? Hey, Trappola. You wanted me? Go to the jeweler round the corner and show him these earrings. They belong to Eugenia's wife, you see. Tell him I'd like to know if they're worth the 10 ducats I loaned on them. At your service. So these belong to Signor Eugenio's wife. Yes, he's stone broke. Poor devil. Doesn't Signor Eugenio mind everybody knowing his private business? I can keep a secret. I can't. I'm a blabbermouth. If you blab, people will stop trusting you. You told me. Go see if the barber is ready to give me a shave. At your service. For the price of a cup of coffee, expects an errand boy, too. Rodolfo, how's that little dancer who lives around the corner? I really don't know. I hear that Count Leandro is keeping her. Excuse me, the coffee's on the boil. The barber has a customer under the hot towel, but as soon as he's done with that one, he'll be ready for you. Tell me, do you know anything about the dancer around the corner? Lysora? Well, I do and I don't. Forget what you don't know and tell me what you do. You said people will stop trusting me if I blab. You can tell me, does Count Leandro frequent her flat? Is the Count a frequent visitor? Is Count Leandro with her often? Yes, he frequently frequents. Oh, sometimes. What does sometimes mean? When nobody's looking. Aha, he's trying to protect her reputation. He's trying to keep her on her good side. Oh, what a cunning Tripoli you are. Now go see about the earrings. Shall I tell the jeweler the earrings belong to Signor Eugenio's wife? Yes, go ahead and tell him. You and I can certainly keep a secret. Rodolfo, if you don't really know anything about that little dancer, I can tell you a few things. Frankly, I'm not much interested in other people's business. You must be informed. How else can you deal with such people? She is kept by Leandro, the so-called Count. And to keep her, and keep himself in pocket money, he takes everything the poor girl earns. Because of him, he's forced to do things she wouldn't do otherwise. He's her pimp. I'm here all day long, and I never see a soul go in her door but Count Leandro. She has a back door. Traffic in and out all the time. She has a back door, you fool. What if she does have a back door? I keep my nose out of it. That's filthy. You talk to me like that. I beg your pardon, just a little joke. Bring me a glass of Rosolio. I see my joke will cost me. This juicy bit about the little dancer is something to circulate. Your Rosolio. In and out through the back door, a constant flow, flux and reflux. That must make her miserable, eh? All that flux through her back door. Your servant, Eugenio. What time is it? Past 10 o'clock, and his watch is never wrong. Coffee. Right away. Well, my friend, how was your luck? Coffee. It's on the way. Did you lose? Coffee. I see, you lost everything. Eugenio, a word with you. I know what you're going to say. I owe 30 ducats. I gave you my word I would play. The Count wants his winnings now. He's waiting. Here's your coffee. Go away. He took me 100 in cash, so his night wasn't totally wasted. What kind of sporting talk is that? You know the rules. Your coffee's getting cold. Leave me alone. If you don't want it, get out of here. I'll drink it myself. What are they saying? I know the rules. But when there's no money, a man can't pay. Listen, save your hide. I might find 30 ducats for you. Good man. Coffee. Now I'll have to make some fresh. I've been calling for coffee for an hour, and you haven't made it yet. I brought you some, and you told me to take it away. You have to keep at 'em, Weedle. Listen, fix me a nice strong cup of coffee like a good fellow. Of course, right away. Some big to do. I'd love to know what it is. Look, Pandolfo, get me the 30 ducats however you can. I have a friend who would lend the money, but he'll want some security, and interest, of course. I have plenty of security. My shop on the Rialto is full of fine cloth. I'll give him a lien on that and pay him when it's sold. I'll pay, he said. I'll pay. So he did lose. What about interest? I'll pay whatever seems fair. I know he won't take less than a ducat a week. A ducat a week? That's usury. Your coffee. Get away from me. Again? A whole ducat a week. On 30 ducats, that's not much. Do you want it or not? Get out of here, or I'll throw it in your face. Poor fellow, gambling has addled his wits. Is there some disagreement? Do you want me to arbitrate? It's nothing, Don Marzio. Just let me be. If you need help, don't hesitate to say so. Pandolfo, what's the problem here? A trifling matter we'd rather not announce to the whole world. I'm a friend of Eugenio's, and he knows I never talk. I even lent him 10 ducats and a pair of earrings. Isn't that right? And I never said a word to anyone. You don't have to say so now. We can speak freely in front of Pandolfo. Have you lost a bit of gambling? Do you need a little money? I am at your service. To be honest with you, I owe 30 ducats. 30 ducats, and the 10 I already let you have makes 40. The earrings can't be worth that much. I'll raise the 30 ducats for you, Genio. Leave it to me. Oh, good, get 40. Then you can give me my 10, and I'll turn the earrings over to you. Damn the day I ever got mixed up with this fellow. Why don't you accept the money Pandolfo is offering you? Because he wants a ducat a week interest. Not for myself. It's a friend who's lending the money. Speak to the Count. Tell him to give me 24 hours to raise the money. I'm a man of honor. I'll pay. He's going away and wants his money now. If I could sell a bolt or two of cloth, I could clear the debt. Shall I see if I can find you a buyer? Would you do that for me? I'll pay you a commission. Fine, let me have a word with the Count, and then I'm off. Did you lose much? 100 I had in cash and 30 more on credit. You might have repaid me the 10 you borrowed first. The Count has fallen asleep with his head on the table. You stay here while I go raise this money for you. I'll be waiting. The Count is wearing out. Now is my chance to get a new one free of charge. Sit down and let's have some coffee. Coffee! What's the game? Forgive me, Rodolfo, I'm frazzled today. If you listened to your friends, you wouldn't get in these scrapes. What can I say? You're right. I'll make you another coffee and we'll talk. Have you heard? The little dancer who plays so hard to get. She's kept by the Count. He can afford her the way he wins at cards. I've found out all about her. I know what time he goes to see her, what time he leaves. I know everything. And the Count is the only one she sees. Don't be silly. She has a back door. This makes 3 coffees I've made for you. Am I right, Rodolfo? About the dancer? I told you it's none of my business. I get the lowdown on all these performers, the famous and the infamous, the virtuous and the virtuosi, the upright and the horizontal. Is this little dancer one of the horizontals? Well, she has something to suit every taste. Am I right, Rodolfo? I can tell you this. The whole neighborhood considers her a nice, respectable girl. Respectable? You call the little tot respectable? I know for a fact nobody gives into her house. By the back door, a steady flow in and out. She seems quiet and decent enough. Decent! She's kept by the Count, and when he leaves, the back door is open to all comers. I tried several times and got nowhere with her. In fact, I never see anybody go in. She has a secret door at the back. They go in that way. It could be. It's a well-known fact. Don Marzio, if you want to shave, the barber is ready. I'm coming. I'll tell you the rest after I have my shave. What do you think of that, Rodolfo, the little dancer? Don't believe Don Marzio. You know how he talks. But he seems so sure. Look, there's the back door opening on the alley. From here you can see it plainly, and I swear nobody goes in that door. Except the Count? Yes, the Count goes to see her. He's keeping her, but they say he intends to marry her. In that case, there's nothing wrong, but Don Marzio says anyone can get in. I tell you, no one does. And I tell you they go in by the back door. Don Marzio, the water's getting cold. By the back door. You see, lather all over his face, and he still won't shut up. He gossips about everybody. How did you get mixed up with him? Couldn't you have borrowed 10 ducats from somebody else? So you know about that, too. He crowed about it to everybody in the street. You know how it is. In a pinch, a man grasps at straws. And just now you grasped at the flimsiest straw in sight. Pandolfo, you think he means to cheat me. Where else can I turn? I have to come up with 30 ducats to save my honor. I'd like to pay Don Marzio his 10 ducats to stop him pestering me, and there are a couple of other little debts coming due. If I could sell a few bolts of cloth, I could settle them all. What kind of cloth is it? Paduan wool, worth 14 lira a yard. Would you like me to sell it for you at a fair price? I'd be eternally grateful. I'll need a little time. Time! He's expecting his 30 ducats today. All right, you make out an order consigning me 2 bolts of cloth, and I'll lend you the 30 ducats myself. I'll find some way to repay you. Please. This is something I owe to the memory of your father. He helped me set up this shop, and I can't stand by now and watch these dogs rip you to pieces. Rodolfo, you are a real friend. Just draw up the consignment. It should be in writing. I'm ready. You dictate and I'll write. What's the name of your chief clerk? Pasquino de Cavoli. Pasquino de Cavoli, please consign to Rodolfo Gamboni 2 bolts of Paduan cloth to be sold by him for my account in return for freely lending me without interest the sum of 30 ducats. Sign and date it. There. Do you trust me? I should hope so. And I trust you. Here are 30 ducats. Old friend, I'm much obliged. Signor Eugenio, I give you this money so you can meet your obligations. Only allow me to say this for the sake of old times. Forget the gambling and the shady cronies. Tend to your business and your wife. Use your common sense. He's not far wrong, I have to admit. My wife must have married herself sick last night. Must have worried herself sick last night. Women do. When their men don't come home, they imagine 1,000 disasters. I was with another woman, or I fell into the canal, or I skipped down because of the debts. I know she loves me. It's all she thinks about. I love her too, but I like my freedom. Still, I see that if I did things her way, life would be smoother. I'll have to turn over a new leaf. How many times have I said those words? Look at that. Such grand airs. There may really be a little door with a secret latch. Lady, my humble respects. Your servant. Have you been up long? Have you had your coffee? Not yet. May I send some up for you? Thank you, don't trouble. No trouble at all. Boys, take this. Ladies, some coffee. I drink chocolate. Chocolate, then, or whatever she likes, I'll pay. Thank you again, but I make my own. Good stuff, I'll bet. Would you like me to help you stir up a pot? You mustn't put yourself out. Just say the word, and I'll pop up and share a little with you. Come on, open up. We'll get acquainted. You must pardon me if I don't open up so easily. Hey, what about the back door? My visitors come to the front door. Tell me, have you seen Count Leandro? I only wish I hadn't. You gambled with him last night? Yes, I did. Worse luck. But why are we talking where everybody can hear us? I'll come up and tell you all about it. I told you I open to no one. You need permission from the Count? I'll call him. He's in the gambling house, asleep. Then let him sleep. I'm not asleep. I'm admiring this gentleman's audacity. What about the lady's audacity? She won't let him in. What did you expect? According to Don Marzio, some flux and reflux, some in and out. Don Marzio is a liar. That may be. But couldn't you introduce me to the lady? I'd like to pay my respects. You'd do better to pay me with my 30 ducats. You'll get your money. The loser has 24 hours to cover his debts. Look at this seedy merchant, Lazaro. He's broke and still wants to play the carefree Lothario. Not as broke as you think. Here, take your 30 ducats and stop making foolish noises. As long as he pays, let him talk. Open up. Where have you been all night? Open the door. Go to the devil. Open. This once I will. She likes the sound of money. He gets it and I don't. She needs a few lessons. Alms for a poor pilgrim. Give a little something to the needy and heaven bless you. What's this pilgrim get up? Fun or a confidence game? Neither one. Then why did you go around like this? Out of need. Need of what? Everything. Does that include company? I'd have no need of company if my husband had not deserted me. The same old song, my husband deserted me. Where are you from? Torino. Your husband too? What was his business there? He was clerk to a merchant, but he didn't like work. I'd had a touch of that ailment. Still have. Please help me. I just arrived in Venice looking for him. What's his name? Flaminio Ardenti. Never heard of him. He may have changed his name. Look around. You might find him if he's here. He'll run if he sees me. It's carnival time. Wear a mask. That way you can catch him unawares. How? I have no place to stay, no money, nothing. The way things are going, I may turn pilgrim myself. Look, this inn is quite respectable. I can't go to an inn without paying. My pretty little pilgrim, if half a ducat will do you any good, here it is. That cleans me out completely. Thank you. I'm truly grateful. But more than half a ducat, more than any amount of money, I'd appreciate your protection. Aha. Doesn't want half a ducat, wants more. Eugenio with a pilgrim. That's interesting. If you would kindly introduce me at the inn, the host won't take me for a vagrant and chase me away. All right, I'll go in with you. The host knows me. I think I've seen her before. If you don't find your husband, come to me and we'll see what else we can do. I'd like to hear what they're saying. Your kindness is a great comfort, but the attentions of a young man like you to a woman like Me might be misunderstood. If we stop to think about that, no good would ever get done. Anyhow, gossips will always find something to drool over. It makes them look good in comparison. You have a kind heart. My friend, who is this lovely pilgrim? Shall we go to the inn? You lead the way. That Eugenio never misses a trick, not even a pilgrim. She looks like the one who went from the table to table begging at the carnival last year. I never gave her anything, I can tell you. Boys, isn't Trappola back yet with the earrings Eugenio gave me for a loan of 10 ducats? What are you saying about me? There you are, back so soon. You've picked up a pilgrim. She's looking for a place to stay. Can't a man help somebody in need? Oh, that's commendable, poor thing. Hasn't she found anybody since last year? What do you mean? You know this pilgrim? I should think I do. She was here for the last carnival, cadging from the customers. She says she's never been in Venice before. And you believe her, my poor boy. Where was she from, the one last year? Milan. This one isn't from Torino. Oh, that's right, it was Torino. She's the wife of a man named Flaminio Ardenti. Yes, she had someone who had passed for her husband last year, too. This one's husband left her. The way they live, they change husbands twice a month. How can you be sure if it's the same woman? My lorgnette is never wrong. Besides, I recognize her voice. What was the name of the one you saw last year? The name? Oh, I don't recall. This one is named Placida. That was it, Placida. Are you sure? This poor woman needs a place to stay. Believe me, this pilgrim of yours is not looking for a vacancy. She's got one to offer. Wait here, I'll be back. I intend to know the truth about this. She's the one, definitely. I didn't get a good look at her face, but she's the one. When she saw me, she hid in the inn. Don Marzio, your servant. Oh, a masker. I'm your slave. Have you seen my husband by any chance? Yes, I have. He's in the inn with the little pilgrim in long curls. How long has he been there? Only a minute or two. The pretty pilgrim happened along and struck his fancy, and he took her straight into the inn. The rash fool. He'll destroy his reputation completely. You must have waited up for him quite a while last night. I was terrified that something awful had happened to him, like losing 100 in cash and another 30 on credit. He lost all that money. Oh, yes, and more besides, gambling all day and all night like a wild man. Now he has only to sell what little cloth he has in stock, and he's done for. He has spawned everything he owns. That's not true. You doubt my word. I ought to know better than you. He even borrowed from me on a pair of... Well, I'll not say any more. Borrowed on what? Something I don't know about. Oh, you have a model husband. You won't tell me what it was. I'm a man of honor. I'll not tell. Here I am, the jeweler said. Oh, Signor Eugenio's wife. She mustn't hear this. Well, what did the jeweler say? He says they probably cost more than 10 ducats, but he wouldn't give them that much for them. Then I'm not covered. You see the tricks your husband plays? He leaves me these earrings as security for 10 ducats, and they're not worth 6. Those are my earrings. They cost more than 30. 30 what, pebbles? Will you hold them till tomorrow? I'll get 10 ducats for you. You're in cahoots with him. Don't try to bamboozle me. I intend to show them to all the jewelers in Venice. Don't say they're mine. Consider my reputation. Talk to the man who borrowed my 10 ducats, which I want back. What a rude man. Trappola, did my husband gamble all night? Well, let me put it this way. This morning he was still sitting exactly where I saw him last night. That rotten vice. And now he's cavorting with a strange woman. Probably. I've seen him buzzing around her often enough. They say she just came to town. Oh, no, she's been here for months. Isn't she a pilgrim? No, she's a dancer. And she's staying here at the inn. No, there's her place. There. But Don Marzio said Eugenio is at the inn with a pilgrim. Oh, really? He's got a pilgrim, too. There's another woman. One here and one there. Larboard, starboard, swivel and tack. He likes to keep the wind at his back. How long must I stand for this? I'll take him to court. You're absolutely right. Here he comes from the inn. Leave me alone with him. I'll surprise him. Whatever you say. I don't know which one to believe. Of course, Don Marzio is a liar and a gossip, but one can trust these wandering beggars either. Aha, lady in a mask. Will you have some coffee? Or maybe something else? Just say the word. I don't need coffee. I need bread. What is this? What are you doing here? I'm here because I'm desperate. What do you mean? Wearing a mask so early in the morning? Fun, isn't it? So early in the morning? Go home this minute. I go home while you stay here and frolic. A fine life you lead, my husband. Enough back talk. Go home if you know what's good for you. I'll go to my father's. He'll see I get justice and my dowry back. Is that all you care about me? You're destroying my love for you. What have I done? You stay out all night, gambling. Who said I was gambling? Don Marzio. You lost 100 ducats, he said, and 30 more on credit. You believe that man? And you've been playing around with some pilgrim. Who said so? Don Marzio. Damn him, it's not true. And pawning my earrings without telling me. Is that the way to treat a wife who tries so hard to keep you decent? Look at me. How did you know about the earrings? Don Marzio told me. I'll put his tongue in a clamp. Don Marzio says, everybody says, you'll be completely ruined, and before that happens, I want my dowry back. Vittoria, if you loved me, you wouldn't talk like that. That's been my problem, loving you too much. You're going home to your father? You don't want to stay with me anymore? Not till you grow up and show some sense. Don't preach at me. Hush, you want people to hear? If you were so proper, you wouldn't come to a coffee shop and harangue your husband. Don't worry, this is the last you'll see of me. Go on, get out of here. I'm going. I obey like a good wife, even when my husband is a brute and a fool. Someday you'll wish you had me back. When you're writhing in anguish, you'll whimper for the loving little wife who helped you out of your miserable scrapes, but you won't have me to abuse anymore. I'll be far away from you and your betrayals. I may suffer and weep for love for you, but I'll never lay eyes on your deceitful face again. If she takes back her dowry, I'm done for. Oh, she'd never do that. She talks, but she'll never actually do it, poor old girl. I'll go home and jolly her up a little. All she wants is a good cuddle.